Hello, welcome back to 340 Paddler. Today I want to talk about the outlook for the 2017 MR340, and is a rare exception for my videos. I'm going to tell you it is Wednesday, August 2nd, so we're about a week out from the race. If you're watching this in 2018, please ignore this video. If you're watching this in 2016, hello Doctor Who. This is the current forecast for Kansas City at present for the week of the race. So we're looking at mostly low to mid 80s and possibility of thunderstorms, lows in the mid 60s. Looks pretty good, but it does raise some things that we should discuss, or at least I should remind you of. And what I'm dealing with is working from my own experience. I don't have a crystal ball. I'm not a meteorologist. But after doing the 340 for 5 years, there are just certain things that I think you should be prepared for. This is also partially based on Scott's last dispatch for 2017. Temperatures. Temperatures actually look really good. Remember 2012, well, those of you that do, 2012 had triple-digit temperatures all 3 or 4 days. It was bad. This year, those temperatures are not too bad, but those 60s make me nervous. Because a wet paddler in the 60s who's cold and probably hungry at night, it might as well be out there in 30 degrees. You're going to be cold, you might be shivering, it's going to be a problem. Make sure that you have a windbreaker and hopefully some kind of pair of pants in the boat. And don't be surprised if you stop at a checkpoint or a boat ramp, get out of the boat, and suddenly 3 minutes later find yourself freezing. At night, if you're a ground crew, please have a jacket or something ready for your paddler if they get out of the boat. Preferably something they can throw right over their PFD. The reason I say over the PFD is it's something that would stay at the ramp. But you can have situations where it's warmer on the water because the water temp than it is on land. Keep that in mind. And make sure that you're keeping yourself warm when you're on the water. Secondly, storms. There is a good chance of storms. It looks like there's a couple of fronts that are going to come through. Now, we've talked about storms in the past. Just a reminder, if you see a storm coming, get off the water. Remember, you're swinging a 6 or 7 foot long metal tube. Would you do that in a farmer's field during a thunderstorm? Probably not. So don't do it on the water. And another reminder, carbon fiber is very conductive. Now, the general rule is, if it's 30 seconds from the time you see the lightning to the time you hear the thunder, the storm is within 6 miles, you should seek shelter. So get off the water. And if things start looking a little dark, a little iffy, make sure that you're keeping an eye out for possible spots that you can land. Generally, you're going to look for a place to land on the off-channel side. That's where you're going to find sandbars and nice banks that you can stop at and that sort of thing. Fog. Fog is often an issue in the 340 and generally hits somewhere between 4 and 7 a.m., often 5 and 7 a.m., right around sunrise when the temperatures are at their lowest. And often we'll see fog like this. Fog like this can be bad because, of course, you can't see the barge, but the barge can see enough to travel. The bigger problem is, of course, fog like this, which you tend to see around daybreak. And with those low temperatures in the mid to low 60s potentially, we probably will see fog. If that happens, get off the water, lay down, take a nap, and again, keep some situational awareness. Know which side of the river you're on and which side is the off-channel side. The off-channel side has the wing dikes and the sandbars for the most part, especially early in the race. So head towards the off-channel side. It also, in a fog, is a safety measure because there won't be a barge off the channel. River level. Now, this year is going to be very low. This is going to be much lower than 2015 or 2016. To give you an idea, if you ran Freedom a couple of weeks ago, the Missouri River Freedom Race, that river level was around 13 and a half or 14 foot stage at Boonville. And right now we're looking at about a 7.5 foot stage at Boonville, almost half the river that we had for Missouri Freedom, which means be prepared for the river to be running a little bit slower. Don't get frustrated if you're half a mile an hour or a mile an hour slower than you expected to be. Also, it means that there's going to be more sandbars and more safe opportunities to get out of the way of a barge or something else. So, it's both a blessing and a curse. But ultimately, remember, for a lot of us, this is summer camp. You may be stressing now, thinking about all the things you have to prep, but you know what? On Monday, we're all going to sit around the hotel, share war stories, shake the hands of our heroes, and just generally have a good time next week. And that's what it's all about. It's about having fun. It's about having a beer in St. Charles. It's about sitting around Caw Point, everyone getting nervous together, and then racing out and having a good time. So do that. Relax. Have a good time. This is 340